How's it? Indian Cowboy, DocSports.com connection on Friday, September 27th, as we get this video to you around this time. Have your free pick winner in just a second here between Washington as they hook up against Rutgers. The last couple free pick videos, not as great, but obviously we're still 66%, which is insane the last 4 months. So we'll see what we can do today. Have your free pick winner in just a second here. What do I need to tell you? Hello, I'm Indian Cowboy. This is Doc Sports. Indian Cowboy's been around for a cool 19 years, and Doc Sports has been around for 53 years. I have a doctorate and a master's in biostatistics. That's how these algorithms work. Welcome to my free daily podcast. This video will have at least 10, I think maybe even close to 20 free selections. Oh, I don't know. Let me tell you. I'll have at least 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This video will have 15 free selections for you. And obviously our best selections are over at docsports.com under Arun Shiva. Our next best selections are the free picks and leans, which is the daily video that you are watching right now. And our final best selections are our, well, not best selections, but I have a YouTube premium show that I do every single day, which I just got done. And for $20 a month, you get a live show every day. We try to. It's a recorded podcast. You can re-listen anytime. I do at least 8 games there. So you get 200 games all for just $20 a month. Plus, you get to hang out with me in a live setting, ask any questions, and you get a written summary at the end. Pretty incredible value. Probably one of the best deals on the internet there. And you can find that in the comment section below, the link below. And you get free $60 worth of premium selections too in the link below as well. All right, so if you want more content, be sure to check my Twitter. It has our latest updates, our hot takes on sports, popular consensus reports, and our latest videos are posted there. So what do I need to tell you? Well, we have an 8-unit NFL selection coming at you this Sunday at 4:05. We're 7-0 with 8-unit selections, which is pretty incredible, on a 7-0 run the last 2 years. 6-unit college football selection Saturday night too. We won our 7-unit and our 6-unit last week. Our 7-unit on the Detroit Lions over the Cardinals. 6-unit on the really sharp selection on Tennessee, Oklahoma under 56.5. Final score is 25-14. So let it be football with our 6 selections, none of which have gone off. And our 4-unit selection today in baseball. And let it be the NHL, which is just 11 days away. We'll have 2 free NHL futures for you in one of my videos coming up, probably in the next couple days. Soccer selection here on Friday, and plus 3,600 there. WNBA next selection is on Sunday, mind you. And, of course, we have 12 units on deck in golf, and we're plus 6,300 on the year in the MMA. So there you go. All right, let's get your free play winner today. And I like, for your free play winner today, I like Washington in college football to win outright against Rutgers. So I know it's a little scary to go against Rutgers. I get that. They come off that huge win on the road. But I love Washington's coach, man. I really do. You have a guy that returned literally. Jed Fish is not well liked by people in Arizona, obviously, because they're mad at him because he left Arizona to go over to Washington. But you have a guy here that he used to work for the Florida. He started with Florida, then the Texans, and then he was the offensive assistant for the Ravens, Broncos, Seahawks, Jaguars, Michigan, and then he was the QB's coach for the New England Patriots. And he was with Arizona 2 years, and he did fantastic. He basically returned 2 starters, and he's already got Washington 3-1. And that's really, really impressive. All right, he took a 1-11 Arizona team to 5-7 in 2022, and then 10-3 in 2023. What else does the University of Arizona people want? I mean, he was phenomenal. Yeah, and then Washington picked him off, which is pretty incredible. And he barely lost. He lost to Washington State by 5 points in a game they shouldn't have lost, but they bounced back and beat Northwestern. I think as they get more and more games underneath their belt, they'll get better and better. I do. And I understand Rutgers comes off a nice win against Virginia Tech and Akron and Howard. I mean, that's nice. But I think Washington is just a really well-coached team. And I'm telling you, it's just and beating Northwestern 24-5 is still pretty impressive because Northwestern nearly beat Duke, okay? And they lost to them in overtime. And Duke's a well-coached team. And I like Washington plus the points. I think getting Washington plus the 1.5 or whatnot is actually really good. Value here, and I like Washington to get it done today. So you can forget Washington at plus 1.5. I just like their coaching. I just think their coaching is phenomenal. I think this team is only going to get better and better as time goes on because they've only got 2 starters coming back, and it's just a bunch of transfer guys gelling. And, of course, they're going to gel over the course of a football season. Give me Washington plus the 1.5. Your other leans today are as follows. Miami, Toronto baseball. That's your premium baseball pick. Mets, Milwaukee, and I'll get to all the NFL games in a second. I like the Mets, man. Mets lost 1-5 to the Braves their last game. Mets have won 6 of 7 prior to that. Mets are on a bounce back here. Mets, have won 3 or 4 coming in, bounced back really nicely in their last game. Manaea and Montes here. Manaea with a 3.29 ERA. He's trying to help his team bounce back. He went 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs against Philly, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs against Arizona. Pretty impressive guy. 11 strikeouts in his last game, won 8 in a row, 2 home runs in his last game too. I know Montes comes off a really bad game against Arizona, 2 innings, 6 hits, 7 starts, and I know he'll be motivated, but he's given up at least 2 walks in his last 6 starts and 5 home runs in his last couple games. Give me the Mets. Baltimore and Minnesota. I like the run line on Minnesota here. Baltimore lost 1-10 to the Yankees. And the Yanks, I know, were off back-to-back losses. They won that game big, so don't hold that against Baltimore too much. But Pavich and Lopez here. You have Pavich here, who was a minus 248 favorite against Miami, or the Minnesota was a minus 248 favorite against Miami last time, and they lost. And then you have Pavich, who gave up 2 home runs in his last game, and he went 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run against Baltimore last time too. I like Minnesota run line. I think they bounce back really nicely here. Tampa Bay and Boston. I like the Red Sox here. Tampa Bay's lost 3 in a row coming in. I get that, but Boston is on a bounce back as well. Bradley and Pivetta here. Bradley went 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs against Boston his last time out, but he comes off a loss, going 7 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs against Boston, his most recent start, and. But Pivetta went 5 innings, 4 hits, and 1 run against Minnesota. He comes off a loss to the Rays as well, so he'll be motivated. He had 3 walks in his last game, and he only had 4 strikeouts in his last game, which I think will motivate him too. So I'll take Boston here. Atlanta and Kansas City in baseball. I like Kansas City here plus the 1.5. They just swept Washington. They need every game just like the Braves do. You have a pitcher here in 4 home. Singer had 4 home runs, Singer had 4 home runs in his last game. I think that's going to motivate him a lot. Fried here with a 3.42 ERA. He went 6 innings, 2 hits, 3 runs against the Dodgers, which is impressive. You see 2 motivated pitchers here, but I think the difference here is that Fried gave up 11 hits not too long ago, and I don't think he's completely in form, and I like Kansas City here with the value. Pirates and Yankees. I like the Pirates plus the 1.5 here. Pirates lost 2-5 in the last game. They've lost 2 of 3 coming in. Pittsburgh on the bounce back here. The Yankees, of course, won 10-1 in the last game. Jones and Rodon here. Jones 5 innings, 6 hits and 6 runs against Cincinnati. 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs against Kansas City. But I think he comes off of his worst start, so I think he's going to bounce back. Remember, he went 6 innings, 3 hits, and no runs against the Dodgers, which is pretty impressive. And Rodon went 6 innings, 5 hits, no runs against Oakland. So I think he might have a letdown here. Give me the Pirates plus the 1.5. Houston and Cleveland. I like Cleveland here. Houston off that loss, 1-8 loss to Seattle last game. They lost 2 of 3 coming in. Cleveland off back-to-back wins over Cincinnati. Blanco and Cantillo here. Blanco 2.88 ERA. Blanco beat Cleveland twice, which is tough to do. Cantillo with a 4.63 ERA. 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run against Minnesota. 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs against Tampa Bay. Cantillo 6 innings, 2 runs in his last 2 games. Surprised that the 2.88 ERA pitcher is the underdog. So it's very surprising that the Houston pitcher is the underdog. Blanco is, but a lean on Cleveland. Look, Blanco had 9 strikeouts in his last game, and he usually has a letdown after that. So give me Cleveland. Texas and the Angels. I like the under there. Texas lost 2-3 to Oakland in their last game, and Texas lost 2 of 3 at Oakland. Angels have lost 3 in a row coming in to the White Sox. That's so bad. Angels have lost 6 of 7 coming in too. The Angels getting swept by White Sox is just terrible. DeGrom and Detmers here. I'm going to surprise you here, but I like the under. DeGrom 6 innings, 1 run for Texas. He had 2 starts against Seattle, and he only gave up 1 run in 6 innings. Not bad. Detmers 2 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs against Houston. 5 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs against the White Sox. He has to bounce back today. That's why that total's at 7.5. He went 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs against the Dodgers. That's pretty impressive. That wasn't too long ago, and 10 strikeouts as well. I think Detmers pitches much better today. He has no choice but to pitch better. And give me the under between Texas and the Angels. All right, moving on to college football. South Alabama, LSU, and then I got to get to a lot of NFL games. Jesus Christ. Actually, it's more than 15 games, right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 free plays today. Wow. On the daily video today, out in 20 minutes. So that'll be exciting. So 22 free plays for you. That's incredible content. And you're very welcome for 22 free plays. Getting back, so this is going to be a long video, but content is good, right? That's what you guys want, right? So I hope you join for the football card, NHL season, and all of that good stuff. All right, South Alabama, LSU, but I don't want to talk fast because then you won't understand what I'm trying to say. South Alabama, LSU. I'm going to lean on South Alabama here. Major Applewhite here coaching this team who won as a 7.5 point dog, who just won as a 7.5 point dog by a score of 44-17 against App State. That was huge. They were not looking ahead to LSU at all, which you got to love. South Alabama, I think, hangs tough as a quality underdog and treats this the same game as their Super Bowl against LSU. It's a regional battle, too, if you will, Alabama-LSU. South Alabama has a lot of talent here left over from their head coach, their defensive coordinator, Coach Womack, who's the defensive coordinator at Alabama, but he used to be the head coach at South Alabama. Give me South Alabama. Mississippi State, Texas. I got to go with Texas. I got this game at 53-10. I think this is going to be a problem for Mississippi State because this is Texas's first SEC game, and they will want to blow this team out. If they gave up 45 points to Florida, Mississippi State did. Jesus Christ, what's going to happen against Texas? Imagine what they can do. And plus, Arch might play, and he'll want to pad his stats, and he could be a Heisman contender. So I think it makes a lot of sense to back Texas here for a big blowout winner. As it relates to Arkansas, Texas A&M. I like Texas A&M here. The question is, how does Arkansas handle that huge success? And I don't think they'll handle that huge success well against Auburn. And I was on Arkansas, by the way, in that game. It was one of my 6 premium selections. Plus, A&M was so bad against Bowling Green. They were a 21-point favorite, and they barely won by 6. And I just think they were looking ahead to this game. Arkansas's QB had 2 interceptions in that game. Actually, Auburn had. Not to mention the fact that Auburn had 4 interceptions, and they threw for 4 interceptions. They were very generous to Arkansas, and I don't think Texas A&M will be that generous. Give me Texas A&M. Moving on to the NFL, Buffalo, Baltimore. I like the Ravens here. What better way to wake up the league than bounce back here? And I don't think Buffalo has faced a defense like the Ravens. I think the Ravens will learn a lot from the Arizona Cardinals, what they did to Buffalo. And I think Baltimore will play well. Baltimore always gets up for undefeated teams, and I think they'll play well and shock everybody and beat Buffalo. Cleveland versus Vegas. I like Vegas here. You knew the coach was furious at them. Coach Antonio Pierce in his press conference talked about how he has to make business decisions because some of his players made business decisions. And I absolutely love Vegas here bouncing back against Cleveland. I understand that Cleveland beat Jacksonville on the road, but that win does not look impressive at all right now. And I think Vegas is going to be furious coming off that bad loss to the Carolina Panthers, who had a QB change, so it's not really Vegas' fault. So I like Vegas. Kansas City and the Chargers. I like Kansas City here. Everyone thinks Kansas City got lucky against my Falcons. And maybe they did, but they're not going to overlook Harbaugh and the Chargers in a divisional game. It's a great public fade, and Harbaugh's 2 wins are not that impressive right now against Carolina and Vegas, and I think Kansas City sends a message here, like Kansas City. New Orleans and the Falcons. I'll take my Falcons here. I'll tell you what, I think the Eagles smacked the Saints pretty hard. And I know New Orleans is off that 12-15 loss after scoring 47 and 49 points the first 2 games, but I just think the Falcons cannot start the season 1-3. And, I understand New Orleans beat Carolina with Bryce Young and they beat the Cowboys, but neither of those wins look really impressive, whereas Atlanta's looked really impressive even in losses. Losing to the Chiefs is not a bad loss. Losing to Steelers at this point, who's undefeated, is not a bad loss. So I like the Falcons here. Small lean on them. Plus, Atlanta lost by like 30 or 40 points last year to the Saints, too. And I can't tell you how big of a rivalry this is, given that I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan. Denver and the Jets. Give me the Broncos here. Denver's off of a big win, so are the Jets. So what gives? Jets won 31-21 last year. Honestly, I really don't trust Denver here. I get that, but I got to tell you something. If I have to take a side, I'm going to take Denver because I think the Jets have a letdown after that huge win in their last game, and I think Denver picks up some confidence against a huge win against the Bucs. That was a monster win for them. And the Jets won 31-21 last year, so I'm going to take Denver on the points. And Bo Nix had a great game against the Bucs, and maybe he's going to continue to learn. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay here. I think Tampa Bay beats Philly. Tampa Bay always beats Philly, it seems. And I understand Philly comes off a win, and Tampa Bay comes off an ugly loss to the Broncos in a game they were probably looking ahead to this game. I know the Bucs won 32-9 last year, and I know that their Eagles have revenge, but a great bounce-back spot here for Tampa Bay as they are furious coming into this game. Jacksonville, Houston. I'm going to take Jacksonville. I'm probably going to eat my words here, but people are calling for Doug Peterson's job, and they're saying that Bill Belichick is going to take over for him. They're 0-3. Houston lost 7-34, and I know it's even scarier to take Jacksonville off of a Houston loss too. But it's a divisional game here, and the Jags also beat this team 24-21 last year. And the Jags kind of know DeMarco Ryan's system, and I can't imagine after getting embarrassed Jacksonville by Buffalo that they don't at least show some pride here, especially with their coach's job on the line. Minnesota, Green Bay. I'm going to go with Green Bay here. Darnold only threw for 180 yards in his last game and 4 touchdowns. That's pretty awesome. But Minnesota is 3-0, and yet they're the underdog here. Why? Green Bay's the favorite. Green Bay beat them 33-10 last time. I don't think Minnesota's faced really good competition on the road here, and I think Green Bay has something really good going on with Malik Willis. And I like the Green Bay's coaching here, and I think Minnesota struggles a little bit. Yes, Minnesota had 4 touchdowns. Yes, Kevin O'Connell's a great coach, but he only threw for 190 yards, and Green Bay's a fantastic coach team. Pittsburgh Colts, I'm going to surprise you. Well, no, I'm not going to surprise you. I'm going to take the over. Richardson went 10 for 20 from the field in his last game. Also had no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Pittsburgh really hasn't busted out on offense either. I think both these teams bust out here. The Colts won 30-13 last time. I think Fields is on the road. He could be suspect here, and I think that Pittsburgh's going to have to score a lot of points to win this game because Indiana's going to show up because they didn't show up really well last game, so I like the over. Cincinnati and Carolina, interesting game. Joe Burrow facing Carolina and Andy Dalton facing his former team. Andy Dalton facing his former team is what the most interesting is. But I like Carolina in the sense that I think they played great in their last game, but they're going to have a massive letdown here. Cincinnati's 0-3. They absolutely cannot lose this game or else heads are going to roll. 300 yards passing for Burrow last time. 3 touchdowns in his last game, 2 no interceptions. I think Cincinnati shows up in a big way, and I like Cincinnati. Finally, Tennessee, Miami. I like Miami here. I know it surprises you. Thompson was knocked out of the last game. Regardless who quarterbacks this game, I just trust Miami's coaching staff much more than I trust Tennessee's coaching staff. I think they have enough skilled players to get the ball out. Yes, Miami got beat up by Buffalo Yes, Miami got beat up pretty bad in the last game, not only by Buffalo, but then obviously against the Seahawks. But the Seahawks are undefeated, and they're very good. So don't hold that against them. And I think Tennessee losing to Green Bay is kind of a bad loss as well. And even if Miami goes with their other quarterback here, he played for UConn. He's been in this league 6 years, and I think Boyle will be just fine in this game, and therefore lean on Miami. That is your video for today. I know it's an extended video. Join us for the football card this week. Join us for the NHL season. Join us for the WNBA playoffs on Sunday. Join us for this great baseball run, 10 to 12 winning years in the baseball playoffs. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Please take a moment to like and subscribe. Indian Cowboy working hard for you every single day. 22 free selections were on this video.